On May 18th, mark your calendars, in New Baltimore, Michigan, I'm going to be hosting an event that combines reacting to one another's creativity. Hopefully there'll be someone from horticulture, theater, poetry, dance, painting, sculptor. What have I forgotten? There's some others too. Makeup as art, fashion, and there'll probably be some other things too. But we'll be putting that program together and having it near Anchor Bay. So stay tuned on that. Okay, all the way from Dearborn, I have a poem for a very lovely lady. Please come on over. Gwen Joy. Gwen is filled with artistic wonder and cosmic curiosity that evokes a certain specialness and never-ending personal joy for us today at Midhouse Coffee House. I present to you Gwen Joy.
Hi everybody. So I'm going to be talking about my art, my artistic inspirations, and I also want to say you can always find my art on GwenJoy.com. I have a Gwen Joy art page on Facebook, and then I'm GwenJoy3 on Instagram, and I just started a podcast. I talked about the show on the podcast, Black History Month, and it's called Sheila and the Gig. So it's just about being a woman and having your own creative or political voice, or just having the confidence to put yourself out there and having a healthy image despite all the, a lot of variables around us that are not healthy, at all. So, and you can find that for free at BUZZSPROUT.com-256898. And it's Sheila and the Gig. So then that's like a Celtic they think it's pagan tradition that's found in England, Great Britain, and Ireland predominantly. And it's kind of an old art form, of a woman. And then also I'm using it as a very positive symbolism to owning yourself, and being accountable and turning something positive out of all this. And that's my newest painting. It's called the Visionary Trio. And I like to paint overlooked female composers, because a lot of times being female, you are generally overlooked. There's a tendency for that to happen. I would say a tendency. It's harder to be successful just in general than anything. Might as well make a joke of it. But it's Florence Price, and she was an African-American female composer, and I paired her with Lena Horne. They both actually have a tendency to work with literature and Harlem Renaissance, different fields like that. And Whitney Houston was also definitely a trailblazer, and she had a very high-pitched singing style, and no one really had done what she done when she came. And when she came about, it was really something extraordinary. And I guess I read about it, and Snoop Dogg was in jail, and he said hearing her first song, Vision of Love, inspired him because he was in jail, and it kind of helped him to get through a hard time. And a lot of other people, like Christina Aguilera and a bunch of them, said they heard that song by her, and they were like, oh, maybe I should consider singing. So the song is really important to people. But here's something I'll just admit. Sometimes songs cue in my brain, and I don't really have control over it. But usually it relates to something I'm doing, so I don't think it's a bad thing. But I was working on the last 40 minutes, I was working on this painting. The song by Mariah Carey cued in my brain for 40 minutes. But I went with it, and I was already listening to some jazz music. And I thought, well, it probably relates to what I'm doing, and it actually does, because she was a big inspiration to Whitney Houston. That was that was her biggest inspiration. So I kind of feel like maybe that's what needed to happen, that I would be hearing a song by Mariah Carey. You know what I mean? So actually, it's just really important just to kind of go with what happens to you and turn it into a strength. And I need to back up. I was kind of getting ahead of myself talking about that. Vision of Love is by Mariah Carey, and that was the song Snoop Dogg heard. So I need to correct that a little bit. It wasn't by Whitney, but in my brain it kind of got twisted up for a minute. But that's a painting of Boots of Spanish Leather. That's a Bob Dylan
Excuse me,
song.
Gwen, I'm gonna ask you to just go over a little bit by those right now.
Okay. Yeah, so I got confused in the excitement. It was actually, the song was by Mariah Carey, but Whitney and Mariah have a lot of similarities. They sing in the upper register, and yeah, very, very inspiring. And also one of my great heroes is Red Fox, and his favorite performer was Lena Horne. And I have several paintings of Red Fox. Only one's for sale right now in a gallery in Toledo. The other ones I've painted have all been sold, but it's just a painting where he's at, it's called the Truth Gallery, and it's in Toledo, Ohio, and it's a predominantly African-American gallery, but this painting is just him in South America judging like some dancers, trying to see who's the best dancer, and they have shown him like being a British judge in one corner, and then the other corner is him like just looking into like the Sheeny lamp, trying to decide if this happened, who's going to be the best dancer. And there's a praying mantis and a grasshopper in the painting. And to be honest with you, yeah, song cued in my head when I painted that painting too. But I just go with it because I figured that's really what I have to do. But this is Boots of Spanish Leather, and this is a kind of a new one, and I kind of get into, like when I was younger, like when I was a preteen to early high school, I was really into beatnik novels and poetry, and that's kind of where I get my, like I like to put words or cool captions on my paintings, because I'm really into literature too. And then this is Harold, the Joy Toy Rat Boy, and it's just like one of my toys, but I made it into a painting. And over here, I have Francois Hardy. I have another painting with Francois Hardy, but I swear I do paint other French women, but she appears in both of these. And, or this is Jane Birkin and Francois Hardy, and that is Serge Gainsborough. And I have an obsession kind of with other cultures, like French from a young age, like when I was 7. I'll just my own culture. There's good aspects, but overall, it was hard to deal. So it was a way to escape getting into more exotic cultures. Just a little soothing, and that's Serge Gainsborough. And I often put a bird in a lot of my paintings because when I was like at early middle school, middle school, before middle school, maybe like 2nd, 3rd, 4th grade, I was nicknamed Bird, I guess, because I have an exotic looking face and really thin. So I turned into a positive. I put a bird in my paintings now. Plus I really like jazz music, so it fits. And that is Dolly Parton, that one. And it's called The Coat of Many Colors, and it has Stax Records. And, she's from the South. Stax is a label from the South. And there's a pun there. And I have the coat, and I have a skunk. And I have synesthesia. That's one of the neurological conditions I have. So sometimes the scent, smell, sight, and other texture come up in my paintings because I'm attuned to that. And that's Francois Hardy with her guitar. And then I make the toys, which usually have some kind of exotic cultural sort of thing, like the Native American girl, clown, something of another culture, and an animal usually pops up. And then, influence my paintings. And
What was the name you gave to the toys?
They're called Joy Toys because my last name's Joy. So, and I have a thing with my Joy Toys that I can either name it for you and give it like a couple personality aspects, and I do it real quick on the spot, or I can tell somebody, like, do you want to name it yourself? I don't want to be like oppressive and just name something. If they want to name it, they can name it. You know what I mean? So I give them the opportunity because in the 80s it was it was a method people had, like Cabbage Patch dolls. They named the dolls. But like you could be stuck with some doll that didn't really fit the name, and it's kind of a bummer. It's a little vogue, I felt. So I'm not going to name something unless somebody wants me to. And her name would be Felicity MacArthur, jotted around Trinidad, and she found some kids at a potluck, and she wanted to go to the Mardi Gras party. That'd be her name. So, you know what I mean? And then here are my necklaces. My necklaces also celebrate more exotic culture, because I have that tendency from a young age. And yeah, and then this would be a shorter kind of choker, and then I make longer ones. Those are on my website. The toys are, and the necklaces are. And then on actually on April 13th, I'm doing a one-day event. It's called the Eratocrat Seminar of 2019. And that will have me and 6 other artists, and there'll be a DJ and lots of innovative dance contests, because I think by dancing people kind of stay healthy. And the Taj Bell's going to be performing 3 original songs. I'm going to be in it. Mary Cotter's in it. Ashley Laurie Will is in it. Rachel Corpy, Yulia Rist, and I'm trying to. How many was that? How many people? Let's see. No, I don't want to forget anybody. Oh yeah, Stacy McLeod is in it too. I think that's everybody, right? Yeah. All right, named everybody, because you don't want to forget stuff or leave something out. But yeah, everybody should go there. It's at Spread Art from 6 to midnight, and it'll be a lot of fun. And all the art will be something about economics or sexuality, and we all have our own relationship with it. But I have mine that I came up with a theory when I was 7 and a half, and it's never really been disproven. So I'll probably have it till the day I die.